Welcome to Scene Fae. For more videos, like and subscribe, and hit the bell icon to never miss our videos.
Welcome to the World Chronicles with Scene Fae, a congressman who is a thief and who changed American history. You might be shocked to hear this sentence, because who would have thought that a person sitting in the U.S. Congress had once been a thief? But this is the story of Robert Smalls, the man who rose from the darkness of slavery and committed the most dangerous theft in the sea, and then reached the U.S. Congress. Yes, he stole an entire ship. This is not just a story, this is a journey full of fear, hope, rebellion, and courage that changed history, the dream of freedom from the cell of slavery. Born into slavery in South Carolina, Robert Smalls envisioned a life beyond the confines of oppression. With each passing day, he cultivated a plan, a dream ignited by the hope for freedom. Amidst the rich green fields, he gathered the courage to act, knowing that his fate rested not in the hands of others, but in his own. On a fateful night, Robert Smalls seized an opportunity that would change his life forever. With adrenaline coursing through his veins and the weight of his people's hopes on his shoulders, he quietly navigated through the darkened docks, ready to take control of the Confederate vessel. As the ship cut through the waters, the thrill of freedom surged within him, propelling him toward an uncertain but promising future. The year 1839, a child was born in Beaufort, South Carolina. He was named Robert Smalls, a slave in body but a free man in heart. As a child, he understood that slavery was not just a chain but a prison that cuts off thought. When Robert Smalls grew up, he was sent to work in the port of Charleston, where ships came and went, roared and exploded, and the shadows of war were deeper than the ocean. But this port was not a prison for Robert. It was his training ground. He learned quietly about ship control, secret signals from forts, water and air routes, the movement of war supplies, and the entire map of the port. He was a slave, but he had become an expert captain in sailing. As Robert Smalls grew older, he navigated the complexities of the port, his mind sharp and eager. He absorbed the rhythms of maritime life, each wave and gust of wind whispering secrets of freedom. He forged connections with sailors and captains, learning from their experiences, always careful not to reveal his true aspirations. In a world that sought to define him by the color of his skin, Robert envisioned a destiny far beyond the chains that bound him. He understood that knowledge was his key, and with each day he prepared for the moment when he could seize his freedom. Robert Smalls got married and built a life with his wife and children, but the harsh reality of slavery loomed over their happiness, as their family was at the mercy of an owner who threatened to tear them apart at any moment. Despite the fear, Robert's eyes held a fiery determination as he resolved that he could not remain in bondage. He proclaimed that either everyone would taste freedom or they would meet their end together beneath the waves. Under the cloak of darkness, Robert meticulously plotted their escape, poring over a map that would guide them to freedom, his heart racing with hope and fear. The small boat waited silently at the riverbank, a vessel of dreams and desperation, ready to carry Robert and his family away from the chains of slavery and towards the unknown horizon. As Robert navigated the ship, the weight of his dreams to liberate himself and his fellow slaves sank deeper into his heart. With every turn of the wheel, he envisioned the life they could reclaim, a life free from shackles and fear. The distant city glowed like a beacon of hope, a reminder of what lay just beyond their reach. In that moment, all doubts were cast away. Robert's resolve solidified, driven by the love for his people and the desire to be free. The Civil War was underway. Black man Robert Smalls was assigned to work on the ship named CSS Planter, a battleship that carried cannons, gunpowder, and secret messages. Robert Smalls knew all the systems of this ship, not the real captain, but he was the real brain. And then the opportunity came, as every night the white officers left the ship and went to sleep in the city. Black man Robert Smalls could hear the heartbeat of his freedom in that silence. On May 12, 1862, night like deep as ink, the ocean completely silent. Black man Robert Smalls put on the captain's uniform, tilted his hat, adjusted his coat, and turned the planter's wheel. Fellow slaves hugged their children to their chests, silent prayers and hope trembling in their hearts.
In the night, battleship CSS Planter moved forward, tearing the harbor water. Before the eyes of the forts and artillery, on Fort Johnson, given the signal, the soldiers let go on Fort Sumter, the toughest fort in the war.
The ticking of the clock, the sight of the soldiers, the muzzles of the cannons. A slight mistake.
Disaster. Black man Robert Smalls gave the captain's signal. A few moments of silence, and then a soldier's voice pass. CSS Planter passed out of the mouth of death.
Now in front was the Union Navy, which would fire shells at the sight of an enemy ship. Robert Smalls raised the white sheet, and this was the last hope between life and death. The Union soldiers were at first surprised, then they were stunned. These are slaves. How did they get this ship? Planter paused. Robert Smalls not only offered the ship, but also cannons, secret maps, fort weaknesses, and all war information to the Union. At that moment, Robert Smalls, his wife, his children, and his companions were free forever. The moment was filled with a sense of triumph as Robert Smalls realized that his daring plan had not only secured his freedom, but had also changed the course of history. The Union soldiers, once confused, now saw him as a hero, a man who defied the odds. As cheers erupted around them, Robert Smalls knew that their struggles were far from over, but this victory ignited a flame of hope for countless others still yearning for freedom. As night fell over the harbor, the glow of lanterns illuminated the determination etched on Robert Smalls' face. Surrounded by Union officers, he shared crucial intelligence that would turn the tide of the war, ensuring that the sacrifices made were not in vain. His family stood proudly at his side, a reminder of the life he fought for, breathing life into the dream of liberation and justice. Robert Smalls was once a slave, but he changed the course of history when he bravely commandeered a Confederate warship during the Civil War. His daring act was not merely theft, it represented his fight against oppression and his quest for freedom. After securing his freedom, Robert Smalls dedicated himself to fighting for the rights of former slaves, even opening a school in his town to ensure education was accessible to all. His legacy continued as he became an elected member of the U.S. Congress, representing the aspirations of those who were once denied their basic rights. In Congress, Robert Smalls stood as an ambassador of courage, advocating for policies that would uplift African Americans and ensure their rights. He proved that his theft was not just an act of desperation, but rather a powerful statement against slavery and a symbol of hope for countless others. Robert Smalls became a beacon of hope, inspiring many to join the fight for equality and justice. His journey from slave to congressman illustrated that true courage can change lives and uplift communities, reminding us all that freedom is worth fighting for. In every corner of the country, stories like Robert Smalls resonate, encouraging individuals to pursue their dreams and stand against oppression. This legacy fosters hope and empowerment, guiding future generations to create their own paths toward freedom and justice. As communities unite to celebrate Robert Smalls, they reinforce the importance of remembering their heroes and passing down their stories. These gatherings help nurture a culture of resilience and courage, ensuring that the flame of bravery never goes out. Each year, countless individuals draw inspiration from Robert Smalls as they pursue their goals and strive to contribute positively to their communities. His story serves as a beacon of hope, reminding all that courage can bring about transformative change. Through festivals and educational initiatives, the legacy of Robert Smalls continues to be honored and celebrated, fostering a deep appreciation for historical figures who fought for freedom. These efforts inspire collective memory, ensuring that his story remains alive in the hearts and minds of future generations. This story of bravery and courage unfolds as Robert Smalls reminds us that Americans are a living nation, never forgetting their heroes. If you believe that there are reasons to inspire future generations to serve their country, then pass this story on. These stories of heroes do not exist merely for reading, but to awaken nations. As Robert Smalls' story unfolds, it becomes clear that each hero's tale carries the weight of history and the promise of a brighter future. The faces of children light up as they hear about the courage of those who came before them, realizing they too can make a difference. As the sun rises over the city, it signifies hope and the potential for change, reminding everyone that bravery exists in everyday lives. At community gatherings, families come together sharing stories of heroes, intertwining the past with the present, ensuring that the next generation understands the power of courage. Like, subscribe, and share my channel to watch my new videos.